friends, Christine here. Welcome to Quilting on Caffeine. This is vlog number 17, I think. Just a quick one today. It's been a while since I've been here, so I just wanted to pop in and say hi. I have been busy both with midwinter break, which means my kids were off from school, taking on a project that I probably should have said no to. Taking on a project that I'm excited to be working on, and trying to dig through my whips. For those of you who are new here or new to quilting, whip is a work in progress, so WIP. The last time I posted, it was a short film about scraps. And we're going to take a minute here just to put to rest any worries. The majority of those scraps actually did go to a foundation in the next town that works with people to make art to sell. So they were not thrown in the trash. They're my trash that I recycled into treasure for somebody else. I did salvage a few scraps myself. And there was some legitimate trash within that pile because it was unusable. So, moving on from the scraps, the second film I made for class was one about whips, works in progress. And I'm going to try to get that edited and posted here. It's not quite YouTube ready yet. But in that, I realized that I have a lot of works in progresses right now. And I'll probably say this again in the film, but I mean, I have a lot of work in progresses. And I came to realize that they were weighing on me even more than the scraps were weighing on me. And that part of the reason I had so many was because they weren't all really works in progress. Some of them were aspirational projects that I had yet to start. Some of them were projects that I had started and I was like, oh. And some of them were projects that I actually just put away because I got busy or I needed to work on something else. But I realized that the projects that I put away because I was like, oh, they're not really whips. They were experiments. And I think I needed to come to terms with what was an experiment, what was just part of my quilting journey, discovering what my taste is, what my style is, and what was an actual whip. So I have started to go through the whips that were really more of an experiment or a point along my journey that was not really true to what I wanted to do. I wanted to try it. No shame in that game. But just because I tried it and I started it doesn't always mean that I need to finish it. So that was a good life lesson right there. And in the film, you'll see me packing up some of those projects. Some of them are just blocks. Some of them are fabric pulls. And those will be donated to a program that makes quilts for foster kids, which is a cause near and dear to my heart. So it's going to be a variety of things, from tops to blocks to fabric that doesn't resonate with me anymore, but is gorgeous and should go to live a life somewhere. But that said, I did finish a couple of things I'm going to share today. Okay, the first finish I'm going to share today is actually the Trellis pattern by Cluck. So this is a pattern that makes a crib, a throw, a twin, or a queen king size quilts. Now I bought this specifically because I wanted to use 2.5 inch. I had a jelly roll that I wanted to utilize, and I thought this was going to be a great pattern for it because it's modern, it's crisp, it's clean. It was not the right pattern for the jelly roll I had. I'm just going to say that. So I did not enjoy this pattern as much as I think I would have had I used different fabrics. And you can never find fault. I love Cluck so, and the patterns, I feel the diagrams are clear, the writing is clear. So any of this is all on me. But so this is, let's see, there you go, a little snippet of it. I'm going to insert a video right here to show you the whole thing. Cute, right? So my interpretation, once I realized it wasn't working for me and it wasn't working for the fabrics, I actually kind of created my own little thing, and that's why I have the cropped off thing at the bottom. And I think that I'm going to set this into a larger, I think I'm going to offset it into a larger piece of white background, so it's kind of an abstract statement, and hopefully make it a little bit larger. But this is project number 1 that is going to foster forward. And it feels good because I'm considering it done. I am including the fabric to make it bigger if people want. And somebody there will finish it off. The jelly roll was actually by Lori Holtz, and I don't remember the name, it's been too long. But it has a modern twist on retro elements, which I just think is so fun and cute and whimsical. The second project I finished is actually a mystery quilt along that I did with Cotton Cuts. I'll put the link down below. They host these twice a year, I believe. This was from fall of 2020. Yes, this is from fall of 2020. And it is called the Are You Game mystery puzzle. So I will pop in a photo now real quick so you can see the whole thing. So fun to do, so not my style. I love the mission behind Cotton Cuts, so I love being able to participate in these when I can. And I chose this palette because it is art gallery fabrics, which if you've ever touched art gallery fabrics, you know how they're just like nothing else. The way they feel, my machine loves to sew with them, I love to sew with them, it's kind of a win-win. And for a project that is, this is like my late night sewing project, so it just added an extra layer. I'm not finding my words today. So here you can see some of the fabrics. I loved this print here that's on the sashing, but when it all came together, it's a lot of purple. And if you've watched any of my other vlogs, you know that purple is not my favorite. To say the least. And the style, it's a beautiful quilt, but there's nothing about it that's my style. So it's going to live on somewhere else, and that is perfectly fine. And that is a second whip / experiment cleared out. Project number 3. When I was cleaning my scrap bin, or bins, depending on how honest I want to be, I discovered I had a lot of turquoise and green fabric, specifically light green, like limey green, and that aqua-y blue color, like a lot. So I actually am making a slew of X+ blocks. And if you're interested in making a block that looks like this, it's really fun, it's really easy, and it burns through like scraps like nobody's business. There are several tutorials both on YouTube and on Pinterest, so I am not going to link to any one specifically. I picked the tutorial that worked with the size scraps that I had. I had a lot of, I don't even know what project it was from, but I had a lot of under 4-inch squares. So I picked one that required 3.5-inch squares here. I would do this again in a heartbeat as a stash buster. My child has already walked by and claimed it as his, so we'll see. My goal is to make 100 blocks. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm 25 blocks in. It's over there. So it's coming together. This is probably about as scrappy of a quilt as I'll ever get in the future. And I think that this is a great way to work up some really random pieces of fabric that I've had lying around from other projects, especially being able to cut 2-inch squares from low volume fabrics, because I have had binding strips, I have had random scraps, I've had random squares, I've had circles of fabric for I don't know what project, and it's kind of looking cute, I think. It's cute. It is cute. I did have to talk myself out of calling it done at 5x5 and then insetting it into a gray background to make up the difference, because I still have, as I showed you, all of these pieces, and I'm not even going to show you the other scraps that are laying around right now because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I have plenty of fabric. I can make 100 blocks out of these random scraps. So that's a win. That's a scrap quilt, and I think I said that I'm not a scrap quilter in my last vlog, but this is a scrap quilt I can get behind. 3 projects. 3 whip bins cleared out. And when I finally get that whip work in progress movie posted, the whip movie that's about whips, funny, punny, you'll see why that feels so good. The last time I was here, I hadn't really figured out my goals for the year, and I think one of them is definitely going to be to work through both my work in progress and my stash. There's a lot of it. So as you might have guessed, I have not done very much knitting this past month. I have been very busy sewing, and that feels amazing. I've been doing a little bit of cleaning, so hopefully I'll be able to post a studio tour sooner rather than later. I've had kids with me for a week, which was fabulous, but I'm so happy they're back in school. And I'm supposed to be working on tech stuff today, but I decided to vlog instead. So, priorities. So March, I don't have a class that I'm taking, which feels great. I don't have a winter break, so that feels great too. So I should have 4 solid weeks to make some plans. Not bad for the 3rd month of the new year. It's definitely going to involve finishing up this quilt and hopefully another work in progress, and finishing cleaning the studio. I do have 2 quilts to long arm, and I'm hoping to share some of that with you guys as well. Short and sweet today. I hope this finds you all happy, healthy, safe. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on in the world right now, which I am choosing to not delve into here. But I hope that this brings you a little piece of happiness. Before I sign off, if you have any good ideas on what to do with a lot of teeny squares of fabric, let me know, because I've got them. So that's all, folks. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it when you come by and share some of your time with me. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful start to your March, and I'll see you soon. Bye.